Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my June update on my orchids. Not a lot going on here. My orchid, Looseberry Orchid House, has 2 spikes. And there's one there and there's one here, but there's actually 2 branches this time, which means each of these side branches can have multiple blooms on them, hopefully more than just 1 or 2. So this thing is living up to its name, a variation called Orchid House. It's got a lot of blooms. My Neophoenicia, only this one is blooming right now. It is my Rhizan Tamba, and it is unique in that it is typically the bean leaf shape. Neophoenicia don't have colored flowers, but this one definitely does. Smells like your, general jasmine, kind of sweet, coconutty. Well, not coconut, mostly jasmine. And there are actually another spike with 5 buds forming there, and there's 2 other spikes from last year that kind of froze in time, and then they start moving once it got warmer. My Tamakongo is kind of losing some leaves at the bottom. I'm not too worried since it's from the base. Could just be from age or I didn't fertilize, but whatever, as long as it's still alive. This one is another section of the Rhizantama that I separated when I bought the whole plant. It was one of the most expensive plants I've purchased, but look at those beautiful pink blooms. Totally worth it. And my Poner Orchis graminefolia is kind of losing one of the buds, which means it's gonna go back to dormancy. Although once the buds drop off, the leaves will stay kind of like this until they really brown, and it can look like that for months before I remove the corm from the moss and put it in a cool container and keep it cold and dark until next March. My dendrobiums are doing what they normally do, which is grow a lot of canes after the bloom, and then they have like a second flush of buds, and then they bloom kind of during summer. So it's kind of weird. They bloom twice for me every year. This one is going to be crazy. Do you see all of those buds? And hopefully they actually bloom this year and not wait until next year, because sometimes they just kind of freak out and stop. Here's my air plant. I diligently water it every week, 1 hour soak, add some fertilizer, not too much, and then I let it sit here. I'm very careful not to, you know those white things over there? Those are trichomes, or parts of the plant that help it absorb water and nutrients. A lot of people just grab air plants and touch them too much, which you shouldn't do, because once you do that, it rubs those trichomes off, and then you have a section like that in the middle where it doesn't come back. And I don't think the plant likes that because it needs it to collect nutrients. So I'm very careful. I just take it from the little stub at the bottom, or use the wire thing to put it into a container for watering. This thing, super, I love it. I will never part with this plant. Yeah, it is going to dormancy, as you can see, with the leaves kind of turning crispy, papery, but it's still awake, so I'm still watering it every week. And then eventually I will cut the vine off when all the leaves are crispy and dried. That is the update for June.